This week with the design team, we went to site and it's really odd being in there. Believe it or not, it feels like you're in a zombie movie. You've got all these Sainsbury's shelves which are now empty, the tills, this lift, it all looks a bit airy and smells a bit odd. But we walked around just to have a look at all the different spaces that we want to incorporate within the building and where these spaces are going to fit. It's become apparent that we need a measured survey. A measured survey is when an independent person comes in and measures the whole area, so we have accurate measurements of all the different spaces. The problem is at the moment in the basement, it's been divided into two. One side of the basement we can go from a particular staircase, another side of the basement we have to use another staircase to go into, and Sainsbury's have got all the fridges and everything there. So it's a bit difficult at the moment to imagine what that space in the basement is going to be like, because we've just got lots of partitions and lots of odd fridges there. So I can't wait until Sainsbury's removes all of that so we get an accurate idea or a visualization of how big that space is downstairs. On site, we also discussed a fire safety strategy. We are going to have to employ a fire safety company who will assess all the designs and design a fire safety strategy so in case of a fire, everybody gets out safely. We've also discussed bringing on a planning consultant. There are a number of planning applications that need to be submitted to the council. We obviously can't do these ourselves, so we need a planning consultant on board who can advise and then submit these planning applications on our behalf. Apparently some of the planning applications refer to the plant space that we've got on the roof. We're going to have to get a crane in at some point to take all of our plant to the roof, but that area needs permission. There's a commercial lift within the building. Now we're hoping that we can convert that commercial lift into a passenger lift. There is a risk that we may not be able to. And if that's the case, then we're going to have to take out that lift and put a brand new lift in. Apparently we can't get rid of the lift. We do have to have a lift in the building. The upside is, based on what the design team have told me, that if we do have to change the lift, then we can put it in a more favorable position, but it'll be more cost effective if we can just convert that lift into a passenger lift rather than to completely change it. In terms of the bank this week, we've managed to put together our business plan. We've also submitted all of our personal information. I had another meeting with the broker this week to go through the business plan. He's now going to put this forward to the bank, so fingers crossed we can secure some funding. In terms of the lease, we have been going back and forth, mainly this week about the rent-free period. A rent-free period basically means you don't have to pay rent for a certain period of time. You still have to pay your business rates, your service charges, your electricity bills, and all the above. You still have to pay all of that. So within that rent-free period, you ideally want to get all your building work done because you're not paying rent. Now, I've asked for an 18-month rent-free period. I think that's quite ambitious. I've been told it's quite ambitious, but hey, if you don't ask, you don't get. Let's see what the landlord comes back with. What's also become apparent is that you have to pay stamp duty on leases. I had no idea about this. I didn't incorporate this cost within my workings. I just assumed you pay stamp duty when you bought a house, but apparently when you take out a lease, you also have to pay stamp duty. I've also gone back to the landlord through the agent to make sure I've got assurances that this property is protected within the 1974 Act. I want it in writing because I don't want any problems with this later.